Hey everybody, welcome to the Run Better Now show. My name is Nick Ortego. I'm a health coach specializing in biohacking for runners, and this is my show. Idea is to start out just making episode 1 and the first few episodes with articles that I've written and various publications and on my own blog. If you want to check out my blog, it's runbetternow.net. If you go to that website, runbetternow.net, you can get free stuff, a free course that will guide you through proper running form, 7 steps to better running form. That will be available to you if you just go to runbetternow.net and leave your email there, and I'll send it to you. Other stuff too, there's a Yoga for Runners ebook that's also available there that you'll get when you join the Run Better Now VIP club and get all that stuff. So let's start with this article. The initial title has something to do with 7 steps to proper running form. The editorial process, it was changed to I did these 7 things and became a faster runner. Funny enough that the article was kind of whittled down to 6 things. So there are really 6 items in the 7-item article. I think that has to do with, we know in online circles that a lot of times odd numbers get shared more for some odd reason. Things with odd numbers get shared on social media more. People click on odd numbered lists more. So I did these 7 things and became a faster runner. After running my first marathon, I was in so much pain that I thought I'd never run again. Yet after the pain subsided, I realized that maybe I was my running technique that had put me in this position. I was in a lot of pain after that marathon. So I went in and overhauled my running form. I had overpronation of the feet. My shoes would wear out on the inside a lot more. Just a lot of these classical things that can lead to overuse injuries. But here are some principles I found and use along the way to improve my form. These tips have helped me run pain-free, faster, and farther than ever before. I've gone on to compete in marathons, ultramarathons, even a 100-mile race. So tip number 1 is practice your technique. In every other sport or physical activity, we get instruction on technique when we get started, but not in running. Proper running form is extremely important for preventing injuries and improving your speed, endurance, and enjoyment. So implement 1 running session per week in which you focus on proper form. Key there. I don't know why running's the only sport that we don't take lessons and learn how to do it properly. Maybe it's because, if you've read Born to Run, we're kind of wired to run. We're wired for endurance. I believe modern society takes us away from that. We get muscle imbalances and it screws up our form. That's just my take on it. Try to keep your feet parallel. Let your feet land on the ground directly below your hips. Don't think about your mileage or speed on this technique work practice. Observe your feet as you walk and run. Are they parallel, turned out, turned in? Try to keep your feet parallel. Let your feet land on the ground directly below your hips. So just keeping good alignment. Don't worry too much about whether the heel or the forefoot hits first. Your best form will arise when the center of your body is directly aligned over your base of support at the foot. This can help to correct some movement faults that can lead to poor performance and injury. Let your hands and arms swing back and forth like pendulums, back and forth, not side to side. Number 2, try running barefoot. Now, I'm not saying, it's just a caveat, I'm not saying do all your running barefoot. That is a recipe for injury, to go from wearing shoes for 20 or 30 years and then start running everywhere barefoot. But taking off your shoes once a week will help you run better almost immediately. Much of the sensory input that your brain uses to create optimal movement comes from your feet. If you're wearing shoes, you may be muffling this crucial input. I noticed this immediately when I started barefoot running during practice sessions. My feet hit the ground softly and I increased my speed by moving faster rather than pushing harder. When you start to run barefoot, try it once a week. Make these instances shorter runs at moderate speed. Number 3, this may be the most important. If you're a Tim Ferriss fan, if you like the Pareto principle, this might be the one thing that I'm about to tell you that is the 20% thing to focus on that will give you 80% of the results. And that's focus on cadence. Cadence refers to how many steps you take per minute. A good place to start practicing is 180 steps per minute. Your speed of this cadence will vary based on your step length. Try to keep your cadence the same, but increase and decrease your speed by changing your step length. So, lots of people have like a 140 cadence. Top runners tend to have 180 and above, up to 200, 210 sometimes. Use a metronome to help you, or download a free metronome app to your smartphone and set it at 180 beats per minute. Over time, your body will find the right running cadence. Your cadence may not be exactly 180. That's best for you. It might be 175. It might be 190. But 180 is usually closer than most people are to their optimal running cadence. What cadence does is it prevents you from overstriding, prevents you from making some of the mistakes we're about to talk about. So lead with your center. So a lot of times when people want to start running or accelerate, kind of hunch over and bend over at the hips. So in order to move forward, you have to shift your center of gravity forward. Many people do this by pushing the chest and head forward by bending at the waist and hips. This works, but it's far less efficient than moving your center of gravity forward and allowing the rest to follow. So the center of gravity is near the lower abdominal area, a few inches below the navel. As you run and walk, push this part of your body forward, allowing the rest of your body to go along with the center, never allowing your hips and midsection to shift ahead of your shoulders. The best way to envision this is to imagine a bungee cord slightly below your navel, pulling you forward. Number 5 is open your stride to the rear. So when you open your stride to the rear, what a lot of people don't do is open their stride to the rear. They open the stride to the front. The foot hits the ground in front of the center of gravity. So as you increase your walking or running speed, you take longer steps. If you reach forward with each step to extend your step length, your foot hits the ground in front of your center, and you essentially put the brakes on every step. It is better to lengthen your step to the rear. It is easier than it sounds. Extend your trailing leg behind your body to push the ground backward. This will help propel you forward. Your leading foot should touch down directly under your center. Here's an exercise to improve your range of motion so you can effectively practice this step. So this is kind of a dynamic stretch you can do that'll stretch the hip flexors, the calves a little bit. As you walk and your trail leg extends behind your body, keep your heel on the ground as long as possible while keeping your torso upright. So heel on the ground as long as possible while keeping your torso upright as your trailing leg pushes behind your body. Do this for 30 steps at a time, anytime you walk. Number 6, take advantage of hills. The best part about hills and running up hills is that they tend to, like the cadence drill, like setting a metronome and following the cadence, running up a hill, using a hill, tends to help you not overstride, not put your foot too far in front of your body, and also tends to help you find a good cadence, because you can usually go up easier when your cadence is high when you're running up a hill. If you take long, pronounced, slow steps without much frequency, it's a lot harder than just taking tight little sharp frequent steps. So those are the 7 things that helped me run better. I was in pain all the time, thought I would never run again. I kind of developed these things through practicing yoga, reading a book called Chi Running, and just practicing and tuning into my body. And eventually my body ran better, went faster and farther without any injuries, even up to 100 miles at one point. So give that a try. And if you want a free course on how to run better, get better running form, then go to my website, runbetternow.net. Runbetternow.net. You can sign up for the Run Better Now VIP Club, get that free course and some other bonuses. Thank you and have a great day.